Thank you for tuning in to Horror Junk. This is going to be a little deviation from our usual format.
But it's episode number 4.
It is episode number 4, titled as such. Back in August, I traveled to the quote-unquote Nerd Fest, as I like to call it. Real label is Gen Con Indie or whatever. While there, I got to interview a great man known as William Katt, star of House, co-star of Carrie, probably best known as the greatest American hero. So I asked him a couple questions about some of the horror movies he's been in, some of his general thoughts on horror in general, all that kind of fun stuff. So we got that for you this week. So we'll be back next time with an actual movie review, since that's what our fans love from us.
Of course.
And but enjoy this interview with William Katt. It's actually it's kind of mediocre, but yeah, it's good. So enjoy.
Mr. Katt, can we talk to you about Carrie?
Yeah.
What was it like to work with Brian De Palma?
That was terrific. You know, actually at the time, Amy Irving, who was in the film, Amy and I were dating. So it just kind of worked out. That's how I kind of got the interview, was through her. And it was great working with Brian. What ended up happening is that Brian and George Lucas were holding auditions at the same time. One was I auditioned for Luke Skywalker, and I auditioned for Carrie at the same time, and I ended up getting Carrie. Although I would have been a good Luke Skywalker too.
Very cool.
Not as good as Mark, but
what was it that drew you to the story, and had you read the book before, and was Stephen King on the set?
I never met Stephen King, although I was told that he did come to the set while we were shooting Carrie, but I never met him. So I read the book after I got the script, and actually I thought that, excuse me, Mr. King, but I thought the script was better than the book. At the time, Brian De Palma had done Greetings and Hi Mom and Get to Know Your Rabbit, and he had worked a lot with Bobby De Niro on some of these low-budget comedies that he did. And he was just getting ready to break, and that was the buzz around Hollywood, that Brian De Palma was getting ready to break. His first big major kind of shot at a Hollywood film. So I was lucky enough to get in that film that really pushed him over the top and made Sissy a star, Nancy Allen, John Travolta, and me, and Sissy Spacek, and Amy Irving. I mean, everybody seemed to work as a result of that film. We've all had careers.
That's very cool. Now, when you were doing the auditioning in Star Wars, was it as big of a deal as Carrie, or was it kind of or was it kind of more low key? Like, what the hell? It's not a big deal.
I never got to read the script of Star Wars.
Well, your audition. I'm so sorry. Your audition.
Yeah, we just did auditions. There was really no buzz about George Lucas. He was just some USC hack that was coming out of grad school. I'm kidding.
Still is a hack.
He still is a hack.
We're going to talk a little bit about House really quick, Mr. Katt. Tell me a little bit about how you got involved with this movie, your favorite scene, and how is it weird, like acting against special effects?
In which film?
House.
In House. House was really was really before CG animation. It was all kind of puppetry and live action. I think the only aspect of House that was done in post was when I go into the black space and they had the flying thing, which was stop motion, which was still being used at the time. You know, but so there really wasn't a lot of green screen.
Did you have a particular favorite scene in House that you like just remember, that you like go, oh, you know what, I still remember that to this day. It's still my favorite scene.
My favorite scene was the scene that I did with George Wendt when we went fishing. And I explained to him about putting on the goggles and that there's a big raccoon in the closet. That's my favorite scene.
Very cool. Now, for yourself, I mean, are you a big fan of horror films? I mean, do you like to see the older horror films, or are you into the new, grittier, more realistic films? And how do you feel? And how do you feel about making one of?
I'm not a fan, although I've seen some. I don't rush to the theater to see slasher films. I like any kind of horror film that's a little bit camp. That's what I like to see. So. Although I respect and appreciate, you know, the craftsmanship that goes into making some of the horror films. They're not something that I rush to the theater to see.
Very cool. Tell us a little bit about Gamers and some of the other upcoming movies that you're doing, as well as the play you're directing.
I have a new film coming out. Actually, it circles back to George Lucas. I play the head of security for a film coming out, a Miramax film called Fanboys. A lot of fun, very fun film. It's a Hollywood film. So I'm doing that. I have a film coming out that I directed with Sam Huntington, who was Jimmy Olsen in Superman. A film called River's End, which is going to be out in DVD pretty soon. I'm directing a play with Lainey Kazan and Joe Bologna that I start rehearsals in September for October opening on the East Coast. And then Gamers that I just did, very, very funny film with some guys, Chris Folia and some other guys that come out of Los Angeles that are first-time filmmakers. But it's really a funny, fresh look at the whole business and environment of gaming. And these guys they really take a fresh look at it. It's a lot of fun. I was surprised. It was much better than I thought it was going to be.
Tell us a little bit about The Man from Earth, too.
Oh, The Man from Earth is a new film that I did. It's going to air on the Sci-Fi Channel. And it's got some great people in it. And it takes a new look at really what religion is all about, you know, and where it comes from, and it's not about religion per se. It goes into that. It's about a guy who lives for 10,000 years.
Very cool.
Yeah, so that was the interview with William Katt.
That was it.
Not a big fan of George Lucas, it would appear. Talks a little bit of crap about him, but all in good fun, I'm sure.
Well, he's got that weird double chin. How can you love a man with a chin like that?
I don't know.
It's a mess. It's a mess.
I don't know what you're talking about.
That guy's a mess.
Anyway, hope you enjoyed it. As always with Horror Junk, this is Brian.
This is Tim.
And we watch crappy horror movies and do crappy interviews, so you don't have to.